This is the air sign reading for the week of June 26, 2023. So anyone with prominent Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements in your birth chart, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to start off with the astrology real quick before I go into the cards. So on June 27th, we have Mercury going into Cancer. On June 29th, we have Venus in Leo squaring Chiron in Aries. And then July 1st, Mercury in Cancer will conjoin the Sun in Cancer as well. So there's an emphasis around emotions and feelings this week. People being oversensitive or more sensitive than usual. Maybe you are feeling more sensitive than usual as well. There may be conversations and people opening up about a certain feeling or emotions that they have. There's also going to be an aspect of healing as well with that Chiron and Aries placement. And this could relate to something of the heart and how we love ourselves with Venus and Leo here. Because we have so much Cancer emphasis, your parents or children, and specifically the mother, may play a prominent role in your week somehow. And with Chiron, we are identifying a pain point or past experience and how it has shaped or affected our sense of self-love, because Venus is in Leo, and then also how we show up for ourselves compared to how we show up for others. So again, start of the week, we are feeling compelled to speak and communicate about feelings and emotions because Mercury is in Cancer. Midweek, we're identifying that pain point and really working with it and working through that healing, and we're in the midst of that healing process with Chiron showing up. And again, you are going to probably see that it has to do with something around how you love yourself, self-worth, or self-confidence, because Leo is at play. And then at the end of the week, we have clarity about the entire process and how it sort of all comes together. Because when Mercury in Cancer conjoins the Sun in Cancer, you know, there is clarity around feelings, right, and the emotions. So we are probably going to see more clearly the entire process and why it showed up to begin with and what it meant for us to really identify it and work through it. So we are coming out with a more confident, open-minded, healed feeling toward the end of the week. So we're not so heavy in the emotion. We are feeling better about it, I guess, because we've already dealt with a certain aspect of it since Chiron was at play midweek on June 29th. So yeah, and then the lower vibes of this energy could just be, again, people just being oversensitive. So you want to be careful with how you communicate, or even when you identify that someone is taking things too personal, or you may be taking things too personal. Just really having some compassion and knowing that this type of projection has nothing to do with you, and that we may all be feeling just that hypersensitivity. So it does bring in a sense of being defensive, right, toward others. And so you don't want to take that too seriously and just let people deal with their emotions as they need to. And then the extremely low vibe aspect to this is, passive aggressiveness and people using emotions and feelings to manipulate situations or other people. So if you notice that, or you have an inclination of doing that, you just want to catch yourself and deal with it before it goes too far. Alrighty, so let's go into the cards. What is the weekly energy, personal energy for the air signs for the week of June 26, 2023 for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, please? Awesome, we have the Empress, so you're feeling really good this week, air signs. So there's a element of taking advantage of the pleasures that life has to offer. Maybe you are feeling more in tune with your senses. You are beautifying yourself or beautifying your surroundings. nature and Gaia and the feminine aspects of nature may be coming into play as well. And then you also have the Ace of Swords. So there's clarity and truth coming through. Venus in Leo is playing a part as well in the astrology, and the Empress is Venus. So there may be some clarity around what the Empress needs or who the Empress is, however that relates to you. So that higher ranking feminine, or that higher feminine self of you, may be coming through very clearly and prominently this week. The Empress is more of the earth-based, so think of an earth type of goddess energy, where she is just in luxury, and she really acknowledges and appreciates beauty and pleasure that this earthly realm, this nature realm, has to offer. So your surroundings may be beautiful. You may have, maybe you went on a vacation this week or something like that, where you are just really taking in the beauty of your surroundings in some way. But there's also very prominent clarity here and truth. So this is self-love, self-confidence, and self-worth that I was talking about. So air signs may be coming into truth about how they show up for themselves and how they love themselves this week. And really not ashamed. I want to say not ashamed, or like you're not asking for permission to be yourself. You're not looking for acknowledgement even. Like you just are. And you don't care really how people take it or see you. Like you're doing it for you. Like it's like I hear, you saying like, this is for me, whatever it is that you're changing or identifying, or I don't know, but you're doing it for yourself. You're loving yourself. So we also have the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Wands. So 2 aces here, air signs. So this week may play a significant role as it relates to the start of something. Being clear on a heartfelt, emotional, with the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is love at its purest. And in your environment, there is a need to break down walls, or someone in your environment needs to break down walls, or someone is coming in to help you open up and break down walls. There's breaking something down. There's opening up. There is light at the end of the tunnel. If you were in a dark place, you're seeing the light now. But it's like, I am breaking through. You may be coming out with a secret or something that you have held really closely and really tightly to yourself about a matter of like who you are, or some sort of truth as it relates to who you are authentically. And there's a sense to have a breakthrough moment regarding love, how you love yourself, and or how someone else loves you. Very, very, very similar to the astrology that I was talking about. Let's start off with the beginning of the week for the air signs for June 26th. Got Judgment. So big awareness moment this week at the beginning of the week. You are becoming aware of a trauma, of a heartbreak, why you feel the way you feel. You need to rest, and you need to heal, and you need to cleanse, and you need to release, and you need to like love yourself and nurture yourself. Like part of shadow work, there is an element of like being in touch with your higher self. Like your higher self is always the one that knows better that supports you, that has your back no matter what. Like, they are a part of you. It is you, right? Obviously, it is you. Like, there's no energy closer to you than your higher self, right? And so it's like, with shadow work, there could be a certain aspect of it, or a tactic, where we envision our higher self coming down and nurturing us and loving us and hugging us and holding us. And, you know, that feeling of mother, right? With the Cancer here, like, you can do no wrong. This is complete healing, complete, like, unconditional love. Like, when you are in a really heavy state of needing love, that is part of shadow work, where you envision your higher self, or mother goddess, or feminine, coming down and really loving you and, you know, nurturing you so you can heal your way back to life, basically. And, you know, if it's male and that's how you see the masculine, or if you are a male listening and you know that your higher self is more masculine, then same concept. But it is a feeling of unconditional love, nurturing oneself. And it could be that vision, like I said. And I do feel that, like, your higher self is coming down and is looking over you, is watching over you, is, you know, healing you, cleansing you, holding you back to life. Yeah, and there's some wisdom and experience to be gained here. The beginning of the week, you may be really quiet, working on this aspect of yourself, healing yourself, reflecting, looking into the future, or reflecting on the past. But either way, just looking for the lesson and, you know, strengthening the wise part of you. There may be a wiser, more experienced person also coming through to help with this type of healing work that you're doing on yourself. Beginning of the week, you've identified something, though. You've become aware of a trauma or a pain point. What else is coming through for the air signs, please? Beautiful. You have the 10 of Pentacles. This is when every aspect of our life is pretty much in alignment and we feel content for where we are in the moment. So this is your finances, your home, your family, your, not just your immediate family, your extended family, partnerships, children, parents, siblings. Like, it's just like a more wholesome energy here, more earthly. So we got 2 10s on either side of the 6 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles and then the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords brings some sort of ending, especially to a mental situation where you were feeling anxious and fearful, and, you know, maybe a lot of shame, guilt, fear, like I said, just like really low vibing type of energy. And the 10 of Swords comes in when it's time to put it away, when it's time to end that phase, when it's time to really release it and get out of the mind. And I think that the 6 of Pentacles here is looking for balance. I don't know if some of you are healing or like traumas as it relates to family legacy and ancestors, or how there was an imbalance when it comes to family and how you participated or the role you played, how you were treated. Maybe this is like really strong shadow work, like child work, where, you know, the trauma comes from when we were a child, right? And how our caregivers and our elders and the adults in our life showed up for us in those years when we were kids. and a need to heal and balance some of those traumas that have resulted in certain behaviors that you have about yourself in your life. If you don't deal with them, they will always exist, and they always show up in the choices that we make. And so maybe this week it can be a very strong week where you are doing some shadow work and healing some of this stuff, and really more than anything releasing it. In a more literal sense, there could be balance and blessing as it relates to financial money stuff coming through where you felt that you were in lack of. And I think that, I don't know if it was the earth sign or the water sign that had a similar reading when it comes to that part. But midweek, there is alignment. There is a give and take. There is a blessing that comes through to people or to energies, being in balance and doing for one another, being there for one another in some way. What is the end of the week energy for the air signs, please? You have the 5 of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles. I think the earth sign had the 8 of Pentacles in the exact same position here. And the Queen of Pentacles. So I think that there's still more work to be done by the end of the week as it relates to whatever trauma that you were healing. I think the entire week can be filled with that. Your mother may be coming through here, or some sort of feminine family member to help with this process. I feel for the majority of you, to be honest, I feel that your current financial situation, and it could be current, and it could also be a part of your patterning and how you deal with your wealth and your money and your work and your career, like something of money and finances, right? Like your situation that you're in is a result of trauma from your childhood. So more commonly, this as an example, this can be you were a child and you were poor. Okay, maybe you had a single mother, like your mom was single, like you're, coming from a single mother household, something like that, and you were poor, and therefore all of your adult life, there has been some sort of pattern where either you find yourself always in lack of money, or complete opposite, where you have made sure that your money situation is always in a good spot, right? So you overwork and you are over accomplishing, or like something like that, like you're super dedicated in your career path, and because you never want to be in that place again as you were when you were a child. But at the same time, just because you have had a lifetime where your money situation was in a good place, it doesn't mean that the trauma of it was healed, right? Like it was more of a cover-up or something like that. So I don't know how it plays out for you. I'm just giving examples. I'm just saying that I do feel that this week is bringing up something around money and how your family legacy and your childhood has affected your current financial situation in some way. But yeah, so there with that Chiron, and I don't know if you know too much about astrology, but Chiron is the wounded healer. Okay, so anytime there's an aspect with Chiron, there is an opportunity of healing some type of deeply seated trauma. So it just seems like you are definitely doing that work this week in some way. It will bubble up. But let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know how it plays out for you guys. Thank you again for your time and energy listening to this message. If you gained anything out of it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I am going to start working on the zodiac readings for July. So each zodiac sign will get its own reading, and we'll cover the astrology and go really into depth with the tarot of the energies that will come up for each sign for the month of July 2023. So I'm really excited about those. I hope that you can catch those, subscribe to the channel so that way you can see them come through. Otherwise, I hope you have a really awesome week, air sign, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.